In Maria Vasquez's case, the initial reserve set was 175, and then the final payout was closer to 270, I believe. So we were off by like around $90,000. We want to, we would expect that utilizing this methodology, we can get closer to that 250 mark. Uh, so that is what we're going for. I'm going to have this run, and I'll be right back with you.
So let me go over the analysis of the system and kind of how it works. So in the Maria Vasquez case, it's pulling the most uh, important factors that would influence reserves. So things like the T-bone collision itself, the minor involvement, and then the estimated medical expenses. So really we're pulling the key indicators of the narrative of how this story progressed and what occurred in the story of her claim. Now we reference that against similar claims. So uploaded in our database were 7 or 8 different claims, not all relevant, but it pulled the 3 that were relevant. So I planted 3 that were, 4 or 5 that were not. These are actually the most relevant cases. And so we have Kevin Michael Rodriguez's case, T-bone collision, and actually a note here saying that the severity was higher than the Vasquez case due to the TBI in a minor. So that's really good to know and understand uh, that we're going to not weight that as heavily because it was a more severe case. So that should not influence our final reserve setting as heavily, but it will give us an indication, of course. Then we have the Jennifer Marie Thompson, which has a closer case severity, and their final settlement was at 284,000. And then we see Patricia Lynn Williams had a case that was similar T-bone minor involved, but it was much lower severity with only minor injuries. And so the two most similar cases that it chooses to analyze are in order Jennifer Marie Thompson and then Michael Rodriguez. So basically, we're matching the narrative and we're understanding the points of complexity and saying these are relevant to the case that we're currently analyzing. And then here we have the final reserve set at $275,000, supported by 3 different documents. The Jennifer Thompson case with nearly identical complexity indicators, the Rodriguez case, and then the Williams case being the least influential with the least similarities in terms of complexity factors. So you can see that the system was able to identify 3 relevant documents out of the 7 or so documents that were there, and then set a reserve that was more accurate than our the initial 175 that we expected.